All right, Brakathiya Howell, Brakathiya Shai, Brakathiya Howell, Brakathiya Shai, Brakathiya Howell, Brakathiya Howell, Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakagudash, the lines of the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, true well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. On the Priest Shaman, this week's topic is going to be entitled The Death of the Middle Class. Inspired by a tweet by Mayor Bill de Blasio, posted this today on October 4th. Sundown, his Twitter feed that says, "Today I'm announcing a proposal to close all schools and non-essential businesses in the zip codes on Wednesday, October 7th. The affected zip codes are 11691, 11219, 1123, 11230, 11204, 11210, 1129, 11415, and 11367. Now, as you can see, there's more anti-lockdown protests than lockdown protests. There's no people really protesting saying lock this thing down. There are people protesting because they have their own businesses, right? And this is their source of income. Their source of living. They get they provide from their family for their businesses. And with Andrew Cuomo, de Blasio, the same thing is happening in California with the governor of California, Gavin Newsom. People are fleeing. All right, you have the middle class fleeing New York, a place which was once the richest state in America, one of the richest states in America. People are fleeing, going to places like Texas and North Carolina because, look, there's certain people that stand to profit when these businesses close. Who profits when businesses close and people have to sell their homes? The person that purchases the asset, the next person that purchases the asset because they purchase it really cheap. So there's Edomites that have vested interests in the collapse, and who stands to profit? Major corporations. We spoke about this back in March. Companies like Amazon, companies like Costco, Walmart, BJ's, Lowe's. How many of you could say you own a UPS? Not many of you. Only major corporations could say that. Plus, you have this guy, Biden, which is proposing an increase in capital gains tax. Right? So that's going to even hurt the people that are making that $400,000 or more. That bracket. Now, this is the book of Ecclesiastes 5 and 10. He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity. The so-called white man cannot be satisfied. That's the Most High putting that greed in them to make them devour each other, because the scripture says, I'm going to put the Egyptians against the Egyptians. And you know what happened when you do lockdowns? Essential businesses. I worked at an essential business. You get swamped at work, man. You start to envy those that are at home getting paid to not do anything. That's a so-called white man trying to ease in that universal basic income. He wants to determine the income of what people make, how much they can make, keep them at the bottom, and separate the gap between the very high up and the serfs. This is the same thing the Roman Empire was doing. In the book of Luke, it says Caesar declared a tax to what? To the whole world. Increase in tribute. They were doing things like coin clipping, devaluing their currency, low infrastructure. All the things that led up to the downfall of Rome is being mirrored here in America. All right? And it shows you that these guys are not in one accord. It's not cut and dry, we're all together in a one world order. No, there's divisions amongst them. Yes, they want to issue the new world order, but there's fighting. Just like how there was fighting amongst the Greeks. When Alexander died, the Edomites they all wanted, Greek world, a one world Greek world. Antiochus said that, but they were fighting amongst themselves. Killing each other, going to war with each other. The Romans poisoning each other, manipulating the Senate. So it's the same thing that's happening now. No, there's not no secret underground bunker where Biden and Trump, we're just pretending no. They got separate handlers. You have Edomites, wealthy billionaire Edomites that have vested interests in Trump winning, vested interests if Biden wins. And they go at it with each other, man. And in doing so, that shit is bringing a lot of hell on people that don't have the means to survive. Look, the Apostle Tahar did that show. He said, what? Money is the answer. Money answer all things. And it's a defense. So the middle class is not having any answer. They're not having any defense. And doing the ride share, I interact with Edomites, man. I speak and try to talk to them. And I have Edomites telling me, look, man, I don't feel safe at night in Brooklyn anymore. The life is sucked out of this place. And they're going and they're leaving. And check this. I have other Edomites. Look at this. Look at this. I was talking to this one Edomite. Dude was 25. He flew out from California to New York. He's a real estate guy. And me and him were talking. I said, look, COVID created an opportunity. I'm not going to lie. I know it sounds messed up. This is me being in Clark Kent mode. It's like, man, I know it's messed up that people are losing their jobs and their homes and stuff. But, hey, COVID created an opportunity. If you know how to buy businesses and such. And you know what this Edomite said? He said, yes. Isn't it beautiful? I mean, hey, so you got people that Edomites that want to see this shit go down, crash, tumble, and burn so they could, buy things dirt cheap. And then you have other Edomites, patriotic so-called Edomites, that call themselves fighting for this country and, we got to save this and save that. But really, at the end of the day, it's the Most High's program. If you have Edomites that are filled with greed, the Most High did that. If you have Edomites that are patriotic that want to fight against other Edomites, the Most High did that. It's the Most High's program. Now, Salaki, let me get back to that. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5. It says, yea, also. Let me read verse 4. Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. This is talking about the so-called white man, Esau. Psalms 55, the wicked are estranged from the womb. It says, but the just, or Tazadak in the Hebrew, shall live by faith. Romans 5 and 1 tells us that we're made righteous through our faith in our Lord Yahweh Shai. That's how we're going to live. The Most High, we have faith the Most High is going to protect us during these situations, man. Brothers are doing, I mean, yeah, you have your ups and downs, but overall, we're not feeling it like that because we don't own shit tons of restaurants and this, that, and the third. And if you were furloughed, hey, well, look, you was getting a little government check you could survive on, so the Most High was doing all right with brothers for the most part. So we living by faith. You know what, man? It's a spirit because, the apostles are getting into getting these app-based jobs. If you'd have got that doing this thing, you'd have been doing really well, man. Not gonna lie, you'd have been doing pretty good. Because what they're doing is something called a milkshake strategy, which is you just suck out all the resources of your competitors, man. That was a very busy, profitable time for myself personally, man, when this shit was locked down. Because I had 2 essential jobs. It says, so you can see how people have vested interest in this thing happening, man. Buying houses dirt cheap. Hey, I'll tell you another thing, man. I know a real estate guy. I'm speaking to him. I'm asking him about property prices and stuff. He said, believe it or not, right now, he said my slave name. He said, believe it or not, it's a buyer's market. A lot of people are buying, which is causing the price of houses to go up. I said, go up? He's like, yeah, because there's a high demand for it. Everybody's, low interest rates and people, foreclosing. Everybody wants to buy. So certain people, know how to maneuver through these things, have vested interest in some of the other people shit collapsing and them losing their homes and these types of things, man. This is going to lead to civil unrest and protests. Verse 5, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keep it at home. So-called white man want to devour everything. He wants to own everything. He wants to be like the Most High. That's how come he goes in the wild and tag and put chips in animals, man. Soon, he's going to put chips in the whole world. Except for the elect, that is. And a few nations that are going to rebel against it. For the majority, he's going to put a bulk of the world under his system and have them buy and sell and go to their daily lives with an RFID chip implanted in their bodies. Now, with lockdown protocols, you have this thing where there's, They taking your temperature with your forehead and your right hand. You have this company called Remark Holdings. Look at that word, Mark. Remark Holdings, which they said they use AI to check your thermals as soon as you walk into your particular job. They check your thermal. Why? Because they want to see if you have a fever or not. That's what they say on the front, but really they want to see if that chip is going to be in you or not, man. So this thing is moving along. Slowly but surely, you know? And prophecies are sort of compounding because a lot just happened in 1 year, just so much in 2020. It says, yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire is hell. Yeah, so the so-called white man can't have enough. Pretty much the white man, the way he wants it, is just him ruling and everybody else poor, struggling, serfs and terror, serfs, kings, lords, and serfs. One time you made 100,000 a year, you felt like you were, decent, had something going. Now, people that's making 100,000, they did a survey. They said one out of 10 people that make 100,000 a year or more are in the red, man, and they struggling. The heyday of the Americas was in the 50s, man. You had, the man was so-called white man. He was in his pomp, man. Industrial revolution booming and Ford Motors, and you had a white picket fence in a home, profiting off the backs and hard labor of the Negro, Latinos, and Native American slaves. They had it good. Now, that's a thing of the past, man. Esau is so ruthless that he'll put his own people at the bottom, man. We're not gonna be doing no shit like that. And other nations ain't really get down like that. They try to uplift their nation. Esau, this man is, you know what I'm saying? It's greed. It says, that's why the scripture says, who lawless his desire is hell. And it says death and cannot be satisfied. And that's the point. He can't be satisfied. So you have nothing. Till you are servant. Till you will borrow unto this man. But gathers unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. Right? So the so-called white man, and these lockdowns are worldwide because you have anti-lockdown protests going on in Israel. You have anti-lockdown protests going on in Canada and all these different parts of the world. Pretty much if you have a stake in this place or you're being affected by the lockdown, you can't eat, you can't survive, you see that you're losing your shit, you're going to get frustrated and protest. You don't have an answer anymore, meaning your money is low. So this is the Mossad doing. Mayor Bill de Blasio, he gonna be fine. He got private chefs. He got his own gym. He got his own, you know what I'm saying? Because he's an upper wealthy individual. And he's being puppeted by major corporations that have a vested interest in another lockdown. See that? So that's the Mossad doing this thing to further his prophecy, ultimately to go into this RFID microchip, man. This is our Revelations 13 and 16. And the key point is, it says, and he calls us all, both small and great, great in the society, low in the society, rich and poor. See that? They ain't no in the middle no more. It didn't say rich, average, and poor. Why did it say that? Why did it just say rich and poor? Because that's what you're going to have. Either you're going to be struggling to survive in this shithole, or you're going to be doing really well. That's what the so-called white man wants. The borrower is servant to the lender. He wants you stifled, man. And a lot of these individuals have become over 3,000, close to 4,000 businesses filed bankruptcy since the lockdown. Major corporations, J.C. Penney bankrupt, Century 21 bankrupt, Hertz bankrupt, True Religion bankrupt, 24-Hour Fitness bankrupt, airlines are struggling. See that? And who profits from that? The people that buy the asset next. So there's people that want to see these, people lose their home, they don't give a fuck about that. They just want to buy your shit for dirt cheap. Pretty much, there's elite Edomites out there that know that a lot of these big corporations are in debt. And they want to lock them down, knowing they can't manage their debt, so to buy them up for dirt cheap. Ultimately, just have big blockchain stores feed the people, and have no middle class, have no opportunity for anybody to make any money on the side. And that way, when you have big corporations like only Amazon, only Costco's, and only Walmart to get your supplies, your goods and stuff, then you can say, look, we're not dealing with cash. Because a small mom and pop, they could deal with cash. They deal with, but if you have just big corporations, that's the only means. They can say, look, man, no cash allowed. They're already getting rid of a lot of cashiers with just automated register, and it's easier. Easy. You just cash the shit out yourself, right? Because a lot of people get annoyed with people on lines and dealing with cash. They say, nah, look, no cash, no registers. Cash it out yourself with your chip. Ultimately, as they show you in this one commercial, they want the people chip. You put you put your groceries in your cart, and you just walk out, and everything will get scanned as soon as you walk out and be billed to you right now to your chip. That sounds innovative. It sounds convenient, and that's the point of it, to make people accept it. Like, damn, this is just such an easier way to do things. Not knowing you just sold your soul to the devil by taking this mark. And you can't take the mark and cut your hand off and plug out the chip. It doesn't work like that. It's a deed. It says rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. Now, the Greek word there is charagma. If you have the Septuagint, you see the root word of charagma is charax, right? Which is a palisades or a stake. This particular word right here is the same word found in the New Testament when you see trench, because you used to stick these stakes to when you build in a trench, and that's what the RFID microchip looked like. And this is what the apostles saw: a stake being put into a miniature palisade being put in the hands of people, bodies of people, in their right hand or in their forehead, any part of your hand, man, any body, anything. It's in you. Once they could track you, sit. And no, the elect won't accidentally take the chip. It won't be forced to take the chip. If you have the elect, you're not going to get it, man. Because you have people out there who will think that, man, I believe, but they forced the chip on me, man. I had no other choice. No, that means you're one of the elect. Better find a way to perish before you take that, man. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. And yeah, we're beating a dead horse. We're going to keep beating that dead horse. That's the nature of the scriptures. It's very repetitious. The apostles, the elders, been stressing this mark of the beast thing. It's so evident in your face, but we're still going to keep stressing it, man, because it's prophecy. It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Let he that understand count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600, 666. When you have the UPC code on the barcode, you have those two long lines in the beginning, middle, and end, and the 666. Dealing with transactions, man. All right. There was a time when people couldn't believe there was going to be manual barcodes on items. Years ago, an item will come in. It wouldn't have no barcode on it. People will have to put the price of the thing on it themselves. Then came barcodes, and you would tag the barcode yourself. Then came the point where it's automated. Most of the goods and things that come in, they have barcodes on them already. So that's how prophecy moves. As you advance technology, Daniel's the 4th chapter, knowledge shall increase. You advance prophecy. The smartphone could do so much things, man. We're living in a very technologically advanced age, and it happened really, really fast. We're doing things that if you go back 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it was a miracle, man. Zoom and all this type of shit. So that shows you the power of the Lord, man. All right, so I just wanted to comment quickly on his tweet, see where they go with this. Wednesdays around, this week. And from living out here in New York, I'm telling you, a lot of people is trying to leave New York. A lot of people is trying to preserve their wealth by getting the hell out of here. Me being on the ground, that is, interacting with Edomites and shit on both sides. All right, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, which you well. The salutations to the hopeful elect, gonna say this one more thing, man. You got a lot of Edomites out there trying to fight to preserve this thing because they know that their rulership is going down, and this is the work of the Heavenly Father Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. All right, shalom.